United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for coming. Roll call, please, for Board of Selectmen meeting dated 24th June.
Jim Knapp here.
Bill Bailey here.
John Hotchkiss here. All right, looks like we're signing for the Board of Selectmen meeting from 2 weeks ago.
I move to accept the minutes from the June 10th Board of Selectmen meeting.
That's what I read them already.
Second.
Second, all right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Good.
Big agenda tonight. Look at all the stuff we gotta talk about.
Okay. Old Town Hall painting bits.
Only one.
One bid. I did get hold of, well, the local bid first.
It's sealed.
It is sealed. Yeah.
This is to paint the exterior
Oh,
of the town hall and the kitchen. Whole thing.
this is from Target New England Historical Restoration. Applies proposal for the exterior painting of the historic town hall, Milton, New Hampshire. After careful on-site inspection, Target New England Historic Restoration proposes $22,760. The proposed price includes all labor, materials, insurance, and a 65-foot minimum. I think that's a little high.
I thought it was recommended by the Historical Society that we all repaint that one. We did it.
What, the town hall?
The old town hall upstairs.
Upstairs,
Outside.
Upstairs.
What do you pay?
Outside.
Outside.
Oh, the
Exterior.
outside.
all the exterior.
All right, because I thought you were painting the mural.
No.
No, exterior thing, just got a starting price to see what we're up against.
Laura.
I'm gonna move that we reject this. I got a phone call into the Bono meeting, I can't say his last name. He's due here tomorrow morning to go over with me at 10 o'clock. He's out of Rochester, he does historic buildings. Issue may be lead paint, let's find out. He asked me if there was lead paint. I don't know, we'll find out.
I'm sure that the top layer is not lead, it's liquids.
Right, if he's gonna spray, he's gonna disrupt the lead paint. But that's why I wanna get him here.
Second motion.
All right. I will respectfully abstain, because someone's talked to me about doing it as well. So I don't want it to sound like a
But let's,
unfair to this one.
we meet with this guy tomorrow,
All right.
see what his take is. That seems like a lot of money to me, but I don't know.
All right, so vote on denying
So we
it.
put that on hold.
What's your motion? Is it second, your first motion?
All right, so,
Change your motion.
No, just reject it. Let's
Okay,
go on.
so
Okay.
Estimate
favor of
quote.
rejecting is a yay. Okay, opposed? All right, so that's rejected. Who would know this? You might, Larry. George Surratt painted the steeple of the Union Church a couple years ago. He had to rent a lift, and paint was still staying quite well, I think. Did a good job, so. He's interested in doing it as soon as he gets back from his trip to Alaska. All
Well,
right.
I've got a list of painters here. But yeah, try anybody to.
Okay. He's out of Milton Mills or someplace close to him. Right.
Check.
While we're talking about bids and such, what's going on here? Anything new with work on the firehouse addition?
Yep. I'd like to recommend the Board of Materials for Middleton Lumber. trusses are 4 weeks out, until September, July.
Does that include the trusses?
That's the time, it takes 4 weeks to build.
Where do we store the trusses?
We're going to take delivery until we're ready.
So they can store them down there. Okay.
We don't take delivery till probably the 4th week of July. Site work starts mid-July. Site work, we're doing concrete. Give them a week, 10 days. We're still chasing framers.
Yeah.
I think it may happen, so we get some volunteers or townspeople to put up 4 walls, 3 walls. I can hire a couple of contractors to just do the trusses. After a couple of phone calls out, a couple of people interested, like I told them, you get the roof up, and they're in their steps of the shingle, give me a number of shingle. Willing to set up and put it up. Talked to Ken today, he thinks that's a good deal. The numbers, the estimates are coming very high.
Yeah.
People are busy, we just don't have the money.
Florida, go.
I just want to say that I had a very lengthy conversation with Primex the other day about hiring new employees to do it or using volunteers and so forth in detail. Just so you know, if any of your town employees currently, that you have now, do it, they're not covered under workman's comp, nor is anybody you hire, because we do not have a construction category within the town of Middleton. So like your firefighters are only, if they get hurt, only when they're firefighting, not if they're building. So like even the 3 of you would not be covered. Neither, this is the good part here, not really, the building that you're building will not be covered under insurance either because it's built by volunteers. So if it caves in
So
next
it's
year, where it's not covered under your insurance for faulty craftsmanship.
We need Ken to get his contract filled with that.
Because even I mentioned how hiring him, and they're like, well, what category would he be in? Because you do not have anything categorized for buildings.
But we could hire him and,
You would be hiring him as a contractor.
which would be allowed and he'd be covered.
Right.
But he has to have
He has
insurance,
his own insurance.
Correct.
but he has to be insured himself, his own
So
business.
if we hire, if the town hired him part-time temporary, you know, category.
Correct. Because even your DPW is not, part of their job is not to build buildings, so none of that would be covered. And then after she told me that, she told us the building wouldn't be covered either, which I was not aware of.
But could we create a category and then hire him part-time
I
temporary?
guess you would have to do that at town meeting, according to
The
the,
meeting has to be
because you're creating a new,
position, you can't just do that. It's below the law.
well, it's actually a new department,
Right.
not even a position. It's a new, you'd
And
have
if you
your
have
own
a department,
construction
then you have to have a budget
department.
to go along with it.
Just to know something.
So even if he got, sorry, even if he got his contractor license back, insured himself, and constructed this new building, the building wouldn't be covered?
No, it
Oh, it would be
if
if he does that.
Hire a
So that's the
professional
first step.
to do it.
Correct, because he'd have all the bells and
That's
whistles.
the question.
That would be the direction he'd be willing to go.
Good evening.
Just a question about the insurance. You say it wouldn't be covered because of workmanship, whatever. But would it be covered under other categories, say if a lightning strike and fire or something like that? Because it's a structure of the town, regardless of who builds it. In
Well,
other words,
the building would not be covered because of faulty construction, because you didn't hire a professional. So like if the building collapsed or leaked or whatever, and you could not put in an insurance claim. But we were talking about employees getting hurt.
Yeah,
Like
I
if
understand.
somebody fell off a ladder, they would not be covered.
But
Even I wouldn't, do you know what I mean?
My question is, would the building be covered for other circumstances other than,
Probably not, because it
not.
shouldn't be there because you didn't do it correctly, is what I'm gathering.
Well, what I think we could do is I'll get a contractor to spearhead it. As far as insurance goes, I'll talk to Ken about liability insurance if he's willing to do it, if he's willing to do it.
Yeah, is there a
I have
saying?
insurance as an electrician, not as a engineer.
Right.
I'm looking around the audience for someone who's been here forever. Roger, do you remember when that place was built?
John Mamone was one of the built that, and that was built by the town,
But
By
John,
volunteers.
all by volunteer.
yeah, but how long ago was that?
Oh.
Laws have changed since then too, so.
So I think
1892?
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
And on top of that, John at that time was also a general contractor, because he used to build that.
That is true. But the volunteers were the fire department. Yeah, they built it.
So what would be the problem if we decided to go ahead and do it on our own? Other than
Insurance.
Well, if somebody got hurt, they'd sue us. And then if the building, anything happened within the building, it's not covered, so I mean.
It's always
Oh, well,
true.
So just think of the building falling down and that brand new ambulance is yours and totaling the ambulance. Now, nothing's probably covered.
Right, even if so, anything happened with the building or somebody, somebody's there and something happened to them, not necessarily something falling on them, but if they tripped and fell off the building, they're not covered because we have no insurance coverage, right? Yeah.
So I guess it's all.
Well, that would be a
depend-
direct lawsuit against the town for
Right.
anything medical.
No, right, but I'm just saying, but if there's insurance on the building that would cover that, but it sounds like we can't get any insurance.
Unless it's built by a.
Contractor with his own insurance and that's.
So it seems like
We
that's-
have insurance companies.
That's the first step.
Jim, would it help if we knew somebody that's in insurance, right?
I know.
I don't think it's supposed to.
Andrea would be the one you talk to about that. That's more her line.
Okay.
Alright, so anyways, that's on hold for right now, but, so I think
Dr.
we should
Ken.
still
So,
keep the concrete.
And the
Yes.
gentleman from Primus would be more than willing to meet. I mean, anything you wanna,
He is insured, but I don't think it's
A couple other things.
Yeah.
This is gonna go, we just have to jump through the rules. Do we want to sign off Eddie Badger for concrete?
Yes.
At the same time we do the concrete?
He'd be interested in doing it. That's what we can do, anything else.
At least get him on board for that second week of July.
everything, every part.
So, instead of fighting. Next thing, 4 weeks out, dresses, we've got enough authorized to do that.
That's right.
Total hours, 11/22/64.
Just one.
Last page.
Anywhere on the back, just.
Just a John Hancock
Shoots out of the bag, John.
That'll at least get it started.
so we need to send an account with them, so they'll
Yes,
send it.
we've already got an account, we just get it earmarked.
Correct, like just
After
fire
you-
department edition, yeah.
Yes,
Just tell them that when they go there, and then they'll just send me the bill and they'll
Okay.
state that.
but that would be helpful, we can keep track of
Yeah,
Good.
budget.
All right.
The only ones that should really use it are the selectmen account.
right.
So keep track of that.
Ken can. Does Ken have the authorization to be able to?
He can,
You
just
can,
like
you
Doug
can
Bregman
get
did,
you can
yeah.
get an authorization.
Yeah. Okay, are we done with that?
I think I'm with that.
All right, cell tower. Somebody.
Right to the real quick, huh?
Yeah.
The pad was poured a week ago tomorrow. The pad weighs 333 tons. That's the pad alone. Took 13 truckloads to bring in there and make the pad. They have put the conduit in. They have put up the stanchions for part of the electrical thing. The pole itself, I was gonna call Mark today, but they were waiting 1 week to 2 weeks for the concrete to really dry, and they were going to then send the tower itself up.
That's what I heard too. They're waiting for a 28-day break on the concrete.
Yeah, the brake test. I learned a lot over there, sitting there that day.
Did you?
I thought the slump test was just, that was it, there's more to it than that.
Oh, yeah, there's quite a bit more to it.
So, but, yeah, so they're moving right along, so, we're in good shape right now.
Jim, anything to add, or it's,
No, I was over there today too. I didn't stop and talk to them. There was two guys doing the duck bank.
okay.
They were running, their pipes almost run. They ran into water by the cell tower, but you deal with it.
Yeah,
Prior to the second possible tower in Tanglewood, last I heard, they, T-Mobile, are gonna conduct a balloon test.
T-Mobile right now is filling out the application to send back to us. Still talking on the balloon test, they got some other kind of test that they do that will give you, it's supposed to be the same thing, I don't know, we'll see, if we don't like it, we'll do the balloon. But like I say, they're filling out the application right now, so.
I suppose you could hire a helicopter to hover right there.
I don't know what this test is, but it's supposed to be,
I'll go with and verify it, make sure it's okay.
yeah.
What's the application for?
Huh?
What's the application for?
The application, comes before the planning board, like we always get all that stuff, to get approval for everything to do the tower.
Planning board, we have this fill up to,
So they're getting approval to do a tower before the town meeting review.
they're filling out
They're filling out
the
the
paperwork to the planning board.
planning board, and then
And
planning
then it
board
comes to the
takes it,
select,
we move it on.
to the select board for the final approval.
But I thought they weren't going to do any of that until they did the balloon test and had the public hearing with the people.
Yeah,
But
We
that's
cannot-
This is jumping the gun on property that we're not even looking, you know? what
No,
I mean?
we're not jumping the gun, we are doing what the book says. The book says the planning board takes it, we don't do the town meeting before we do the actual thing
No,
now.
and I know that, but I'm saying there is no contract. The way that it was
No.
done with Blue
No.
Sky is you have a contract that you're leasing out this land to a company. Now they proceed with their process. Right now, if you sign a planning board application, and tell me if I'm not understanding something, that you're saying, okay, yeah, we're gonna put a tower there, when you have not
No,
decided
no,
that
I
as
don't
a
think
town.
that's the
No,
case.
not at all.
Then why would they apply for a permit they don't actually need?
They're, go ahead, Joe.
I didn't think they were applying for a permit, I thought they were
They're
filling out
fine,
information.
right, the information in the book, they're trying to get all that together like Blue Sky did. And then we'll, at that time, I'll tell Jack that we have to have that meeting, we have to have that balloon test done, or whatever they're doing.
Right,
On the two lots, now they ain't gonna do one lot, they're also gonna do number 18 too. Which
both
was the
in
one,
Tanglewood?
yes, remember number 18 is the first lot we were looking at down here,
Oh, but still in Tanglewood, right?
still in Tanglewood. So I'm having both of them done. They're still interested, they're very interested in putting the tower up down in there. So, but it does, everything comes before the planning board.
Laura, at some point, I'm going to have public hearings, one or more, before I'm signing anything.
Well, I would think that would be done before they proceed to do all this other footwork that
I'd
might
like-
not be necessary.
Well, I'd
The
like to
problem
see
is,
the,
if you don't have information for a public hearing, for people to see like a test, whatever, so
Right,
they.
but when you fill out the planning board paperwork, do you not have to be like the landowner or even, so I can fill out planning board paperwork for any parcel? They don't have anything with the town. They're a random company is looking to have a site review done on something, they have no
But they are
contract.
trying, they are in the process of trying to get it, so they fill it out the paperwork. What we do as a planning board, when that paperwork comes in, is we put a hold on it, like we always do, until we can go over it with the townspeople and stuff like that. Once the townspeople, that's what we did with Blue Sky.
Blue Sky, we've had a contract since 2013 and they just filled out their
Still don't
planning
make no
board.
difference, we can do a contract up anytime with this company. Doesn't have to have a contract ahead of time.
Then what you're saying is anybody can fill out paperwork for any parcel in this town. They do not have to have rights to it. That's what you're saying. That's all I'm questioning. Because I think we do things backwards.
No, I'm not, no, we're not. We're going right in the order that the book tells us to do it.
It's if I own the property though, and I get that, and that's correct, if I own the parcel.
That's,
We own both of these
No,
properties?
the town
owns
does.
it, not,
This T-Mobile is looking to have a site designer review, and tell me if I'm wrong, on a cell tower that the townspeople has not even said, we're agreeing to have that.
Right.
So I'm just thinking, we're wasting time doing things that might not be necessary if the townspeople say, well, we don't want it there. Then they gotta start all over for a different site. Never mind, they don't own the property.
Right.
When we did the Blue Sky, we had the contract signed, we leased them the 100 by 100, they were good to do whatever they did. They can even do it in Kings Highway in that pit, because we have nothing for Tanglewood. So this is
Right.
just a stranger applying for a site design. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's all I'm saying.
well, I guess my question would be is, so we have T-Mobile, whoever wants to come in and lease that property in Tanglewood potentially. So, but I guess they need to do this balloon test or whatever. So how are we covered as a town for letting them go in and do this work prior to the town voting on? I guess that's kind of my thing is like, and I think to Laura's point is they're coming in here and they're gonna start traipsing across property that the town owns, and have we given them permission to do that? And I guess, and then maybe that's the question that the planning board, I don't know, what is the process?
they have already been in there and looked at the two sites. So they know what they're doing already. Right now, what we're gonna do is, it was requested by the selectmen, we have a balloon test. I called the guy up and said they want a balloon test, but they got other ways that they can show you what this thing looks like, okay? But he wanted an application, so he can start filling out that. He's not filling it out for any special lot down in there, he's just filling it out. So we, as the town, make a decision if we want to give them lot A or lot B or neither one.
So he's just ready to have to submit the paperwork and when he
Right.
gets the answer.
Hold on, I just want, Joanne,
So if I understand right, Roger, mostly what these guys are doing is not asking for a specific lot or contract. They're asking for a feasibility and a possibility of whether or not this can go. And if they get the proper information as to what is required, then we present it to the town before a contract is signed.
Right, we
And
take everything that we get from them, bring it to the town, have them come, like Blue Sky came, and their engineers, bring them in and let them explain to the townspeople, all three that's gonna show up.
So they're basically
Well, we
only-
had about 10 minutes.
So they're
And,
basically only going to say what they can do and what they would like to do. They're not saying that they're going to do it, they're saying what they can do, what they would like to do, what's permissible according to town rules. Then we present it to the townspeople, and then perhaps it goes to contract or perhaps not.
Is this customary?
Laura, you presented an interesting question. Blue Sky had a warrant article in the annual meeting to obtain a release. We need the same for T-Mobile.
You know, you guys are selected, you not have to put this before the public to sign that contract.
But we did for the other one, didn't we?
You did, but there's nothing that says you guys have to put it before the people to sign a contract. You decide, every contract you sign will be going before the people.
No, I'm asking about the concept of having one there.
That's what we did the concept of it.
No, with Blue Sky, we said back in 2013, I think that was a warrant article to have lease the land and do something on it, the vote of the townspeople.
But that was because you guys wanted to do that. You do not have to do that. You are the town father, if that land is in the town's name. As the town father, you can go ahead and do what you want.
I think I want to check that first. Okay.
Well, the other part of it too is you saw, Blue Sky started 2013. We just got all the paperwork now, in 2019, 6 years later.
Right.
And so I think at some point, if we get it wrong the first time, we'll get it wrong the second time.
I'm just
Okay, so-
seeing the process, and, I mean, we had the discussion of doing the Tanglewood one, and we wanted to hold a public hearing for the people before we jumped the gun. And like a week later, I'm receiving a contract from T-Mobile that we haven't even approved yet, looking for a signature. So I'm just thinking this is another thing that they're trying to fill out prior to, so if it goes through the planning board, they're gonna think it's a done deal. That's all
But
I'm
no,
thinking,
no,
even
no.
if it isn't, but they're sending us contracts we haven't even approved to give them a location.
Anything that's sent to the planning board like that is not a done deal, because we have to have the public hearings and stuff like that on it. That's a one step to start the process and what they think they want to do, okay? But regardless, because it's down in Tanglewood, any other place in town, I wouldn't think twice about it, but because it's in Tanglewood, we want to have meetings ahead of anything, and we also want to have a public hearing as a planning board after those meetings to make sure.
So anybody can fill out a planning board application if they're not even a landowner, that's what I wanna know. Because it doesn't seem right to me. Is it just me? I don't know, am I in another planet? It just doesn't make sense.
It sounds-
Wait a minute.
Sorry. It sounds reasonable to me that they would need a lot of this initial paperwork as to what can be done and what they would like to do. Because if you just go before the townspeople with a public hearing and say, we want to put a cell tower up on such and such a particular location, the townspeople are going to want a lot more particulars. And that's what I think this initial paperwork is to provide, that initial information so the townspeople can make a decision as to whether.
It's an application for approval of something that's
There's
not.
no
Application is not for
It's an
approval.
application, not an application of approval, it's an application. Only.
For property they don't own. So technically it should be coming from the board. You were the property owner.
Well, the property owner down there doing.
But no, you had a lease agreement with them. They now are leasing that
I
property
had
to do
the
with what they
okay.
said.
But the problem is,
Board.
see,
Well, those two
Roger,
lots.
wait, the issue is down there, we know we own that property like that, and even though we own that down there, we know there's going to be possibly some controversy about it, so that's why I would rather hold back and not have any type of.
That's all I'm saying. So why start a process when it might not, this is like a lot of work to be done for no reason if
It's
the
not my
town.
work,
But-
it's
no,
the power
Wait,
company's
wait,
work.
Forget it, forget it. It
No,
doesn't-
really.
Doesn't
So
matter.
if the application comes in, goes to Janelle, and she sits on it, she sits on it, nothing's gonna happen with it.
Then what's the sense of filling it out?
I just think they're trying to.
Am I missing something?
No, it sounds to me like it's a feasibility study. Start getting your eggs in a row before it gets.
But then it's usually a packet of their feasibility, they submit you a, here's what we wanna do, not a planning board site review application to build.
Where it doesn't matter where it goes, they want to know, they've already been up there and taken it and did their feasibility studies.
Right,
Now they start the process before it gets to a public hearing.
right, I guess that's my problem, because all this stuff happened before the public hearing that we wanted as a
Does it
board
cost the
first.
town anything?
No, but we got a contract and the guy was looking for a
Well,
signature, so I
I'm
kinda wonder why that is.
That's,
Roger,
Just saying.
different question. You're saying that because it's town property, the selectmen are not obliged to go before the town.
You don't have to.
By that same argument,
When you sign a contract here, you don't have to,
but Roger, by that same argument, why did we ask the town to approve a new highway garage on town property? Are you saying we did not have to do that?
I don't think we did.
Comparing apples and
I'm
oranges.
glad we did.
You're comparing apples and oranges.
Okay, so I have to tell, like both sides, devil's advocate. In that same analogy, Roger, like that back a few years ago, when you and Mullins and Ramon proposed that public safety meeting to the town that got shot down, you didn't have to do it.
True. But
But you got, because.
what you're doing by doing that is covering your backside,
Well, okay, so.
okay? So we all know that.
Okay, well, no, and to be honest with you, if we're gonna spend the taxpayers' money, a contract, whether we have to or not, I'd rather have it transparent, out in the open, and everybody knows what's going on.
That's right.
I think so.
But there are certain things as a selectman that contracts come through and you guys just sign them because you can, right?
Yeah. and that's
Because you
saying-
would be holding meetings all the time.
I gotta agree with some transparency. I think it's a bad thing. Sometimes they get away, yeah, so
Right.
what?
If we're gonna make a signed
It's really
contract,
not our money.
we're signing a contract to replace computers and stuff like that, and get a better deal like that, that's one thing. But we're talking about tying up town property for 20, 30 years or something like that, like a different ballgame. So,
I'm still trying to figure out why it's town property, so. I'm still trying to figure out why it's still town property, so.
Now let me start a little thing. Once this tower is finally built down,
Which one?
this one, Blue Skies Tower, and it's all done, and it's going ding dong down there, it's working. All right? I want to, and I talked to some of the representatives. John Stevens, who is the governor's representative, said he would come. Mark, who is Blue Sky's representative now, said he would bring the president and the vice president of the company. I would like to have a little thing up here for the townspeople and the dignitaries, hot dogs, hamburgers, I don't care what it is. Have the governor down there, go down there, throw a switch. Even though we all know the switch ain't gonna do nothing, okay? Because that's the first tower on this first net that's going up. And I want to just get okay from the town fathers to do that.
I don't know, but once it's up and running,
I'm gonna need some money.
Oh, now it comes.
If you approve now, you get the hook.
I want a better idea of how much money.
Yeah, well, I'll have to go out. Well, I don't know. I'll figure it out myself. Or there's other people in here who help big things, so.
I know. Go ahead, go ahead.
I know this is the first tower in our area for FirstNet. However, I meant to bring the news article and I can't find it or didn't bring it tonight, but there was an emergency situation in another city in the United States and all of their communications went down. It turns out that FirstNet providers, the people who had access to FirstNet were the only ones that could communicate with each other. So it was a very successful usage of the FirstNet program during an emergency.
Good. All right, to be continued. Next topic. I actually have two topics. I want to give somewhat of an update on the Sunrise Lakeland Mysterious Beach. A landowner, actually he owns property, his father owns property near the beach. Brendan Carroll is the one who put the dock up. Brendan Carroll contacted me about taking the dock off town property. He was not sure about how to cross town property and tried to do it correctly. I went down there with him this weekend, undid the tape so that he could gain access to his dock and properly remove town property. And the tapes are now back up. He didn't want neighbors saying they were doing something funny. Separate from that, on Saturday there was a meeting with the Sunrise Lakeland Association trying to decide what to do with the property. We have received no call as a result of it. I put in a call tonight to Christine Bartlett, the president. She has not called me back yet. I see three choices. For all three choices, you gotta have concern. Choice one, that association could help to defer some of the cost of the survey. Otherwise, give it back to us. We do not want that property. Second choice, someone in a butter would pay some money to get the property. That would probably cover all of the cost of the survey. Third choice is that lot is big enough for a house lot. I think now you'd be talking much bigger number. And it's quarter of an acre. Before anybody gets too excited, it's waterfront, but these must be all 8 inches of water in front of this property. It's not deep water sailing out there at all. Okay.
What was the dock for?
Apparently,
Personally,
pontoon boat maybe, or he talked actually about using it to go fishing from. And if he, as a butter, acquires it, he would like to make some arrangement, it's a strictly on him, nothing to do with the town, some arrangement for the people in the association to use it. That's between him and the association, I'm not getting into that. There's no insurance there, yes.
I got a message from Christine Maynard. She was asking me if I had any information, which I don't, but she was asking about covenants. Apparently the covenants were part of the deeds for the association. But when a company goes out of business, the covenants are apparently dissolved. But when reading the covenants, it says the company or its successor would control the covenants. I suggested that she come to the selectmen and to Laura and see if they could present some of that question to the town attorney. So I just wanted to inform you that Christine has some questions about deed covenants.
I don't understand why covenants wouldn't stay with the deed.
Well, according to, there was a question as to whether the covenants were dissolved when the company goes out of business. I don't, if
I don't think so. I don't think covenants are.
I don't know. Anyway, Christine
Sure
has some
how the
questions.
covenants are part of the association.
So I recommended that she come to the selectmen to talk to you about it.
Right, what she's saying is that if the association holds, do those covenants are those still, do you
I think they are. You
Perfect.
still have beach rights, yeah.
But that's how it happened the last time, is they had, in 68, they said SLLA. In 86, they never submitted the reports to the Attorney General's office in the state of New Hampshire, and they were at that point dropped off as a association. And they were, and from 86 until just recently, when it became known that they were not, whatever, it all reverted back to town-owned property.
Right.
So Pam Fraser, when she was here, brought it to my attention, that's a few years ago. That's what started this whole process. So, I thought at the last meeting that, it's not the minutes that day, I thought we talked about doing a survey, the town paid to have it done,
Yeah.
get it done, and however it works out, we will be reimbursed for the survey if anybody gets something. That way we have to assign map and lot to it, we know what's there, and we know what we can sell, and we had to have a appraisal done on it, and maybe we can sell it, house lot, so.
Before that was scheduled to occur, Laura, we met Brandon often to go over there, and Paul and I walking out to make sure that if this is the neighbor's land, and this is the other neighbor's land, there really is something in between.
A survey can cost anywhere between like $5,000 and $10,000, so before we spend that money, because we know how the lake already is with properties, that Eddie would go down and find the pins to make sure there's something to survey before we pay somebody else to find out that there's, high needs or something.
Have you heard from him?
No, I didn't ask him today. I'll ask him tomorrow.
Okay. If you're familiar, you're right, familiar with the landowner there. Here's a bid on one property that says you can go 150 feet. And the other guy's over here and says you go 150 feet. Is there space in between? Or is there nothing in between? There are roads that are in the wrong place over there.
Yeah, we know that.
There are properties that have been split. There are,
There are septic systems in the middle of the road. If the road was supposed to be where it's supposed to be.
so, to be continued, all right? One thing I would like to make clear as part of the minute, the town is not interested in owning this property. Okay? We have a town beach. Somebody was yapping on social media that it's a state law, town has to have a public beach on the lake. I guess they don't know that we already have one over on this side of the lake. I don't know. But beyond that, do not want a town-owned beach in the middle of the association. There is no parking. You start putting tenant-owned cars, people that are not part of the association, parking on the street, blocking traffic, you know who's gonna be cleaning that up? The police. I don't think we need it. Okay? I'd rather get it back to the people if they're willing to have it. All right? What else?
I have a question.
All right, well, and I still have one for Jim. Go ahead.
We were at one point, we still give you beach permits to local people. Are people picking them up and using them? Are we have people who don't live here, that want to come down for the day, that they're supposed to pay for a permit, correct?
Correct.
Is that happening? You know? I'm just asking.
I think there's somebody keeping track of it down there.
Okay, so who is our beach person that
The lady that lives across the street, Deborah.
okay,
Not long.
No, I can't pronounce her last name.
okay,
So Beignet or something.
okay, so she's taking care of stuff?
Yeah.
Whatever. I didn't know, and I kind of like lost track of it, whatever.
Nope, she
So-
checks in all the time. She'll call me when there's issues
Okay.
or.
Let's just put an update, see how it's working.
What is it, a sticker?
Yep. Residents get a free sticker. It's a lifetime sticker, so if they lose it, they get another one. And then non-residents pay $20 for a sticker.
Where do you go to get the stickers? Do you go?
Yeah, I sell them, she sells them.
All right? Roxanne, you've been most patient in waiting to get an answer about the quasi-business in back of your house. There is some discussion whether code enforcement contacts the people or is it part of the planning board. I'm trying to determine that. My apologies, this weekend was a weekend that we had logging and all the gory details with a horrific accident up north. Yeah. Where some of the people died. Never know if you know. So, I have not forgotten it, but yes, I will keep going on it. Yeah. Okay.
So
Yes.
back to the cell tower, we're gonna be getting money. You didn't tell them about the money. No, but we're gonna be, you should see that, that's a good thing.
If you're,
Roger, what are we talking
waiting
about?
for you to see if you got it, they're supposed to be.
No, but according to the contract.
Yeah.
$5,000, which is that bonus one,
That's
That-
for the Blue Sky.
huh?
Yes.
For the Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
Okay.
Plus, I think it's 2 months rent that you'll be getting too. So,
Nice.
it should be on the way. I'll talk to Mark tomorrow. I was hoping that she would have it in her hot little hand tonight and say, hey, look at what we got. Yeah, so, you'll get about 7.
Yeah, it should be $11.66 a month, and the way the contract reads is once they start construction,
Yeah.
the following month, you should get the first month of that. It's prepaid, so then beginning of August, we should get August, it's $11.66 a month,
Right.
and then the 5,000.
The 5,000, then if they dug the hole, that was it.
You told me about that, please.
That's the end of the contract.
For either one of you, but Jim, Selectman, is there room down there for a get-together after the same bill?
Oh, yeah.
Can we
That's
stand in
good,
the shade of this tower and
I don't know if it's already shade.
No,
Isn't there a big
no,
flat pad
you're
down
gonna have it
below?
where,
It's a,
I would probably recommend that if the governor shows up, take him over to the old town hall and show up.
Why don't you do
well,
it?
that was Joe's idea, you know, go down, have a little shingle, and then come up here and have, the bake in
the old town hall. I think
the
that's-
old town hall.
It's a great, it's a location. It's
Right.
locked in the dust.
well, actually,
Or you want to, you want
well,
to,
I don't know.
Have the shingle on the highway garage pad down there, that nice leveled area.
We can have the whole thing done early.
I was hoping if we had it down there and Mary didn't, we could watch Jim climb.
He doesn't climb the cell phone.
Jim don't find
He
power.
digs the
In the
ditches
hole.
and hooks and makes
He
the
goes
power
in the
go.
hole, doesn't he? He goes
He
down.
digs the ditch.
He'll have the fake switch there ready for you.
Yeah.
Look at your fake switch.
Oh, okay.
Was it
Jen,
How tall
The
is
shit,
it?
exactly.
How tall, 180 feet?
Yeah.
What, 186 feet?
So that top is going,
I don't know, that's a pretty heavy rock. You should have saw the size of it. Unbelievable.
Concrete?
All
Yeah, so
concrete.
16 ton of steel.
You said I would.
Yeah. 333 ton that thing weighed. It was up over the top of my head, and I'm, well, probably a little short now, but I used to be 6'1". So, but they buried all kinds of ground things in there and all that stuff. Yeah, so I try to go up every day just to see what's going on.
So, Jim, out of idle curiosity, I'd like to be there when this tower actually goes up. Is it telescoping to the extent that it comes in, I don't know, 10 pieces, each one 18 feet long, you just pull it out like a telescope?
No, it's close though. They're probably 40, 50 feet long, as long as they can get down the road.
Right?
But the first one, it's big, you know, if it's even.
Get it over it.
They'll figure out.
It's stacked.
Doesn't matter. But
Well,
also
it wouldn't
water
have a
lines.
rain.
It's a slip fit.
All right.
And when they take the final measurement, it's probably gonna be 2 feet higher than it should, because the wind's gonna blow, they're gonna settle.
Then how do you push the wires up through to the top?
Goodness, it's walking
You don't have
down.
to stand at the top and push it.
So there's a hole.
Somebody does.
When I did it, it used to be coaxial cable. Now it's all
Yeah.
fiber optic. It's all changed.
Yeah, they're running the fiber optic pretty soon.
We used to run the pitch 5/8 coax.
Yeah. They got 4-inch pipes.
I would like to see it going up.
Well, I'll make sure I let you know, because I'm putting my lawn chair out there.
What's the
So
day with
both of
it?
us can sit out there and
Yeah.
watch it.
All right. What else can we talk
That
about?
was the abatement, I forgot.
Oh.
My fault.
East Township
Shouldn't even have.
for $40.29.
Whoa.
Clerk error.
And his last name is Lontine. From, doesn't say where, but must be. Wrong map, 9 lot 7. You know where that is?
What's the last name?
What's that?
What's the last name?
L-O-N-T-I-N-E.
I believe it's 150.
Yeah.
Right after the mill yard.
All right, is there a motion to accept this is in the amount of $40.29?
So moved.
Right? Second, all right. Discussion? All right. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? You need it signed by us, or?
Yeah.
Well, it's-
Yeah, I.
All right, any other business to come before us? Still daylight, yes. Joanne?
The town has finally had the property deeded over to them for Harriman's lot down, map 21, lot 3. And I know that the taxes on it are quite high. The cleaning that property is gonna cost, we're guesstimating somewhere around $10,000 to clean it up.
This is on New Portsmouth Road?
New Portsmouth Road.
Right.
That being said, and we have a history of, you know, of being good citizens of this town, I'd like to offer the town a check tonight for $1,500 for that lot, for the opportunity to clean it up and merge it with our property.
That property was once part of the property we own now.
All right.
We
In
also,
fact, except for the road frontage, our property completely surrounds it.
we own property on both sides.
How big is it?
Point two one, I don't know.
0.1
.1 acre,
something like that.
tenth of an acre.
It's a very small triangular lot. Probably,
Anybody have any history on this? I don't
No,
think.
but you can't technically do
No,
that.
you have to go to bid.
Yeah, you have to actually, has to go through conservation, the planning board, and then be put out to bid, and then they can bid on it.
Does it go,
And we actually have to send the prior owner, even if we can't find him, a letter saying we were putting it out for bid in 90 days, because we had not had that for 3 years. But you can submit a bid in writing to the board, to start that process, but you can't actually accept that tonight. But the property was, it's a little teeny part and piece, I mean, it's like a little triangle on the map. They used to be part, if I'm not mistaken, of their property, and
Exactly.
when you bought it from their family, they gave that to their daughter? Is that
Exactly.
who she
they
was to
they
live
gave
in that
it to the daughter
trailer?
before that.
Laura, to me, having heard just a little bit here, it makes no sense for anyone else to have this. I understand we have to go through a process.
Right.
Are you saying that they can submit it in writing and that will be on hold until we satisfied whatever
Yes.
legal requirement we have? And are you willing at the time to get started on whatever else you're supposed to do? Okay.
Is it not my understanding then that if the town owns a piece of land that they can sell it?
We can, if it's been 3 years, we can sell it outright. But if it's within the 3 years, we have to tell the prior owner, whether we can find them or not, whether they're alive or not or whatever, that we are going to put it out for bid within 90 days to give them 90 days to buy it back. Then if, once we've done that and we hear nothing, we can do what we can do.
And we send it by regular mail and by certified mail. So
Yeah.
exhaust any possibility they may get that information. If it comes back, then back.
You'll have a letter tomorrow morning, tomorrow sometime. Get off.
I think you're going down New Portsmouth, it's on the left.
Yes.
I guess.
Maybe if we get the driveway, it's really on the left-hand side. So, there's yellow, it's got yellow ribbon in front of it.
Who's gonna do anything in .1 acre?
Well, it's probably more than that, but it probably is also a not buildable lot. There is no well on the property. They used a shared well, which is on our land. If they have a septic system, it is probably not according to code because the stream runs right directly behind there. And I can't feasibly see a way that you could put a house and a septic and still have the proper separate setbacks between the house, the water, and the septic system. There's just no way.
Thank you for your interest, it sounds like a letter with some issues.
We do want to get that cleaned up. It's an eyesore for the town.
Sounds like, Laura, it's at least a 90-day
Yes.
before anything happens.
This is like that, you know, my property down and I got.
So that's July, August.
If we end up getting this,
Still have a little bit of time left.
he's doing mine for keeping it out.
All right, what else?
146.
Make a motion to adjourn at
Second.
7:24.
D&L disposal.
Okay, all in favor?
D&L
All right, thank you.